make some cash instead. So they sell them to some Ishmaelite traders, right? And they bring them down into Egypt and they sell them. And this homeboy named Potiphar buys Joseph to be his manager, to be his steward of all his goods. In fact, Potiphar saw that everything, he's being blessed in life. He's like, dude, I like this guy. And he was at a point in his life where he said, dude, everything that I have, I don't even have to worry about any of that. I want to go play some golf. You handle all my affairs. It's all yours. You remember that? And then what ended up happening in Genesis, 37 or whatever? Potiphar's wife is like, dude, my homeboy's out playing golf the whole time. I got this manager in the house. He's looking good. And starts putting the moves on young Joseph. And what does Joseph say? He says, man, your husband has blessed me with the ability to oversee all this stuff and manage all this stuff. You think I'm going to defame him and defile him and sleep with you? No way. In fact, one day, she's looking at Joe, and he must have been working out or something. Hey, Joe, looking pretty good. And she actually is putting the moves on him so hard that Joe starts running out. She grabs him by the drawers, and he's running out of town. He's like, no! He's fleeing from evil. But see, Joseph, he had that in mind. He knew what he was. He was a manager of all that God had blessed Potiphar with. He was a great steward. He was on point. He was faithful to what he was given. He was given the stewardship. So you and I are servants of Christ. We're stewards of what God has blessed us with. He's given us this amazing call in life. The stewards of the mysteries of God. How many mysteries of God? You ever try to figure God out? He's given us the mystery of the gospel. The love of God, that we are being given that task to go share the love of Christ with everybody. At the gas station, at your job, in your house, your neighbors, the homeless. We have this great gospel, this mystery of God, that God says, I'm the creator of the universe. I saw you bunch of knuckleheads who were going to drop the ball. I'm going to come to you and give you life and life abundantly. And you as a Christian believe and your life is changed and you're like, oh, wow, everybody's got to know this. He's given that to you. Are you faithful to give that message out, to love on people? Are you frivolous? It's a question we have today. Look at verse 2, back in 1 Corinthians 4, verse 2. Moreover, it's required in stewards that one be found faithful. Faithful. In the NFL, if you kind of do a question answer with all the starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and you'll ask them, what are you looking in a receiver? What's the number one quality you want to have in a receiver? And a lot of you guys would think, well, he's got to bust a 4.2. He's got to be fast. He's got to be, athletic. He's got to make crazy catches. He's got to do all this stuff. I guarantee you, if you just get on NFL.com and email all the starting quarterbacks and go, dude, what are you looking for in a receiver? You know what he'll tell you? I'm looking for faithfulness, man. I want to be able to drop back and know that my receiver, every single time I call this play, he's going to be exactly where I know where the play designs him to be. I'm dropping back. I don't have to worry about these 10 guys on the line that it's a full blitz and they're coming at me. I don't have to worry about them. I just got to throw it, and I know that guy's going to be faithful and he's going to make the catch. Are we faithful? Can God count on you? I don't know, man. I drop the ball. Sometimes he'll be like, dude, this is the play, and I'll line up, and I'll forget, and I'll run a bad route, and God will throw an interception. Be picked off, and now it's coming back the other way, and the enemy's running with the ball. And I go try to tackle him, and I roll my ankle, and my life's a mess. That did happen, actually. You and I have been given so much. We've been given some valuable commodities that we were called to manage. How about your time? Great teacher that I listen to from time to time, his name's Andy Stanley. He's got a church down in the Atlanta area. He's got a message that God's that God's taught through him. It's called Choosing to Cheat. And the premise of the message is, you know what, man? We are only allotted a certain amount of hours each week. And if you all of us guys in here, we'll just take guys, I want to be the best servant of God. I want to be the best dad. I want to be the best husband. I want to be the best employer. But he says, you know what? You don't have enough time in a week to do it. You just can't do it. He said, so here's the deal. You're either going to cheat your family or you're going to cheat your job. But you can't have both. You can't do both as well as you want to do. I said, man. And he continues to go on and he says, time. You only have a certain amount of time. What are you doing with your time? Are you one of those guys that has the planner and you have, okay, 8 to 9, I'm this. 9 to 10, I'm doing this. Right? Dude, you are on point with your time. You're good with it. You're stewarding it well. Also, here on earth, we are only allotted a certain amount of time before we step into eternity. I'm going to be reading a book on the plane today. I'm leaving for California for a pastor's conference. I'm going to be able to hang out with a lot of my mentors. It's a Calvary Chapel senior pastors conference they do over there. You know, all kinds of pastors throughout the country, and you know, it's going to be a great time. On my way, I got a book. It's called 1 Month to Live, and it's written by a pastor that talks about you've been given a certain. You don't know what you've been given, but let's just say, for example, you know. A month from, so what's today, June 1st? So July 1st, you're dying, and you're stepping into eternity. What are you going to do with this next month of your life? Do you ask yourself that question, or do you go, dude, it'll happen someday. I'll be, 85, 88, I'll be, 99. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. Are you stewarding your time properly? It's a fact, 100 people out of 100 people are going to die. What are you doing with your time? How about your treasure? You've been given some treasures, haven't you? I've been given an amazing treasure in my family, my spouse, my kids. Do you know that my kids aren't mine? They're God's. He's given them to me to manage, to steward properly. He's given me my wife to steward properly, to care for, to love on her, to encourage her. How am I doing in that? How are you doing in that? Money. Everything's God's. How are you doing with the financial resources that He has allotted to you to steward, to manage? He's also given you talent. So He's given you time, treasure, He's given you some talents. Turn to Matthew 25. And we're going to dig into a parable. It's called the parable of the talents. And we want to look at some different responses in the Word of God as people were given different talents. Matthew 25. We're going to pick it up in verse 14. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country, who called his own servants and delivered his goods to them. So he gives these servants some goods. And to one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, each according to his own ability. And immediately he went on a journey. So pause right there. Some of you in here, he's given some mad blessings to, some crazy gifts. You can go into a business and it's going down. And you can look at it and you can go, oh, you got to fix this, and this. Get the company on point, they start making profit, you sell it, you make $1 million, $1 billion, and you're out. Some of you have been given that gift. It's not me. That's not me. I know a guy that does that. That's what he does for a living. God's given him this amazing brain and this ability to look at things and tweak things. You know what he does with the resources? He gives them. So not only does he steward his brains and his what God's given him, but he also stewards his resources properly. You say, well, I've not given 5. I've been given 2. I've given, a couple of gifts. I got the ability to kind of do a couple things at least, right? Are you stewarding them properly? No, then he says, some he just gives 1. Now, hey, might not be the most gifted dude in the world, but you have something to give. See, God's given